Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Pensastaller, and this video is going to be an update on my KITFOX project. Now, I've had the KITFOX packed away in my garage for a number of months, and the reason is because I just didn't have room for it in the hangar. I've had the wings to this Zenith cruiser on two different workbenches, which took up quite a bit of space, and of course my Mooney takes up a good part of the hangar also. But now with the wings on the cruiser, I've freed up room, and I've brought the KITFOX back into the hangar to get some work done. Starting with the rudder pedals, I'm adding the adjustable rudder pedal kit. So that required me to cut off the ends of these tabs on these rudder pedal pieces. And then once I cut the tabs off or the ends of them off, you round the edges and clean them up and make them look good. And then after I did that, I had everything either painted black or powder coated. And then once that was done, it was just a matter of riveting them back together, assembling the rudder pedal assembly, and putting it back into the airplane. Now, the adjustable rudder pedal kit has four big pulleys in the front, and these steel pulley guards, I guess the builder is required to make. I had to make four of them. And KITFOX just gives you this flat piece of steel with a pretty big burr on the side. So I ground that off and smoothed it and polished it up here on the Scotch-Brite wheel. And it's just a matter of measuring them to the right size, bending them over, make two 90-degree bends, drill two holes, and they'll fit right around the pulley. Of course, anytime I cut it, I cleaned up the edges so it's nice and smooth, rounded the edges. And as you can see, here they are installed on the pulleys. And this is what they look like installed in the fuselage. So I wanted to show you a little bit of an issue I ran into mounting these brake master cylinders. You'll notice this one here, which will be on the right pedal, rotates nice and free. The top here will be connected to the pedal, so as you move the pedals back and forth, this one rotates nicely. But now you'll notice on the left pedal, this one cannot rotate, because the bottom of the master cylinder is hitting the aluminum bracket right here, and it's not letting it rotate up. And these are the factory made or pre-made brackets, so I don't know why that doesn't quite fit. Not too big of a deal. I just need to take it back off and file down the top of this bracket to give it clearance, and then I'll touch it up with some new paint. And part of this adjustable rudder pedal kit has these levers here, which is used to adjust the rudder pedals, and they go into this U bracket on the frame. And as you can see, because of all the powder coating and things like that, they don't fit in the bracket. These pieces have a nice powder coating all around, which adds thickness to it. So what I've had to do on the grinder is just grind a little bit of that away, so you can see the bare metal there. And then what I'll do is I'll add some primer to that so that it doesn't rust. But that allows it now to fit inside that U bracket. And once a bolt is in there, it'll rotate nicely. Here I'm reinstalling the horizontal stabilizer. These are the braces that go on the left and right side. And I just temporarily put them on with these regular nuts. I don't waste a nylon nut. But there's a bolt in the top and then a bolt on the bottom. This is the right side of the airplane. I did both sides, and that part is all done. This is the header tank for the fuel system, so I drilled out the four tabs and installed that. Right now that's just clecoed in place. There's no point in bolting it since it will probably come out again. And moving on to the rear windows now, what I did was I just held up the big square of Lexan to the frame and used a fine line marker on the inside to trace the exact size of the window opening. Once that was done, I took it out and I added about 3/4 of an inch all the way around, and that's the part that will be, behind the frame where the rivets or the glue get attached. So once I drew those two lines, I cut it out on the bandsaw. The corners of these windows will need rounded, so I just sliced off each corner, and then I took some 80 grit sandpaper and just rounded all of the edges, and they look just like this. Here it's installed. It's not, riveted or glued or anything yet. It's just kind of sitting in there. I have to figure out later if I'm going to rivet it or use double-sided tape or glue or figure out how to fasten it. I already bought my transponder and ADS-B antenna, so I mounted those to the steel plates on the bottom of the fuselage. Now the steel plate on the left side here, the previous builder had it drilled out for a comm antenna. And I'm going to put both of these antennas on the bottom of the airplane, and then the comm antenna I'll put on the top of the fuselage. All right, now on to the center console. This is the slot where the flap handle goes through. And again, previous builder had used domed rivets in here. And what I plan on doing is covering this whole piece with carbon fiber vinyl graphic material. So I wanted it to be perfectly flat. So I drilled out those rivets and installed them with these solid countersunk rivets. And then on the sides, I installed nut plates instead of having the side panels attached with sheet metal screws. Well, here's a current look at the fuselage. You can see the previous builder got a lot of stuff done, like all the wood on the tail pieces are already glued in. The tips of the stabilizers are already sanded and airfoiled. They look really good. So here's everything on the frame. I would like to get some little things done, like the wiring for the elevator trim tab. I'd like to get secured through the fuselage, maybe some fuel tubing on the inside and things like that. But other than that, I think the next step might be to put the wings on and check the rigging on the wings, and then get started finishing building the rest of the wings. All right, guys, that's all I have for you on this update. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because I will be posting a lot more videos on the KITFOX since I'm kind of starting to get back into that. If you're here for the cruiser videos, I pretty much just have to do the wheel pants and the cowling on the cruiser, and that is just about ready to go. So that might actually fly sometime this century. Please like the video if you don't mind. It only takes a second to hit the like button, and it does help the channel because it does something with YouTube's algorithms and makes the channel grow better. So thanks again for watching. See you on the next one.